When I first hoped it would perch on my thigh, I was sure that if I captured it, I would eat it alive, without stopping to pluck its feathers. I was starving, and even the thought of the bird's blood made me thirsty. But once I had it in my hands, and felt the pulsing of its warm body, and looked into its shiny, round, dark eyes, I hesitated. Once, I had stood on deck with a rifle, trying to shoot one of the seagulls following the ship, and the destroyer's gunnery officer, an experienced sailor, said, "Don't be a scoundrel. To a sailor, seagulls are like sighting land. It isn't proper for a sailor to kill a seagull." I remembered that incident and the gunnery officer's words as I held the captured seagull in my hands, ready to kill it and tear it apart. Even though I hadn't eaten in 5 days, those words echoed in my ear, as if I were hearing them all over again. But hunger was more powerful than anything else. I grabbed the bird's head firmly and began to wring its neck, as you would a chicken's.
In 1955, a young journalist named Gabriel Garcia Marquez ghostwrote a series of articles about a Navy castaway named Luis Alberto Velasco for the Colombian newspaper El Espectador. The story had the nation captivated and garnered Garcia Marquez positive attention from the public and anger from the government. In it, Garcia Marquez uncovered that the Colombian Navy was carrying more weight on their ships than was safe, resulting in an accident that caused the death of several sailors. Political pressure caused Garcia Marquez to be reassigned to Europe as a foreign correspondent. In 1970, the articles were turned into a book named The Story of a Shipwrecked Sailor. Using a first-person narrative style, Garcia Marquez tells the story of Velasco through descriptive scenes that make the reader feel they are part of the story.
I want to die. A sense of happiness that had taken 12 hours to develop disappeared without a trace in 1 minute. My strength ebbed. I ceased all effort. For the first time in 9 days, I slept face down, with my burning back exposed to the sun. I did it without pity for my body. I knew that if I stayed that way until nightfall, I would die. At some point, you no longer feel pain. Sensation disappears and reason is dulled until you lose all grasp of time and place. Face down in the raft, with my arms resting on the gunwale and my beard on my arms, I felt the sun's merciless bite. For hours the air was filled with luminous spots. Finally exhausted, I closed my eyes, but then the sun no longer burned my body. I was neither hungry nor thirsty. I felt nothing other than complete indifference to life or death. I thought I was dying, and that thought filled me with a strange, dim hope.
Gabo, as Garcia Marquez was known among friends and colleagues, would become a recipient of the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1982 for the magical realism he became known for. A style of writing that combines surreal and supernatural elements within ordinary people's lives. Garcia Marquez leaves aspiring literary journalists a style that captures the reader with ways of writing real stories in a descriptive narrative that changed literary journalism in Latin America and subsequently in other parts of the world. Garcia Marquez died this past April in Mexico City. His hometown of Colombia mourned his death and declared a national day for Garcia Marquez, and Latin America said goodbye to one of the last great authors of the Spanish tongue.